Let's take a trip back in time. No, not to see dinosaurs. We're going somewhere far more recent, yet just as alien. A world that existed just 12,000 years ago. A world that was both strangely familiar and dangerously different. This is the tail end of the Ice Age, and you're standing at the edge of a South American wilderness, lost to time. The air is thick, the plants are colossal, and you are definitely not alone. This world is home to giants, and as we step inside, we'll uncover an ecosystem more incredible and treacherous than you can possibly imagine. 12,000 years ago, the planet was in the middle of a serious makeover. Massive glaciers were melting, and temperatures were on the rise. In South America, this didn't create the solid wall of rainforest we see today, but a shifting mosaic of savanna, dense forest, and thorny scrub. The trees are enormous, but many are species you wouldn't recognize. The ground is a tangled mess of roots and strange ferns, and the air is buzzing with insects and the calls of birds you've never heard before. Even the smaller animals feel a bit off. Sure, there are monkeys and porcupines, but they're sharing the forest with giant squirrels and other unfamiliar creatures. Life here is everywhere, but it's not the little guys that make this world truly awe-inspiring. It's the giants they live alongside. What was it like to walk beneath these trees, knowing you were in the shadow of true megafauna? Suddenly the ground starts to tremble. A creature the size of a small car pushes through the dense foliage, a glyptodon. Basically an ancient armadillo on steroids, covered in a thick, bony shell. It moves like a walking fortress, but even it is dwarfed by what's coming next. A mastodon, built like a stockier, more rugged version of an elephant, rips branches from a massive tree. These beasts, along with strange, rhino-like hoofed mammals called toxodon, were the titans of this world. Our proof for this lost world comes from an absolutely incredible source. An 8-mile-long canvas of rock art found deep in the Colombian Amazon, painted in reddish ochre. These images are a direct message from the first people who lived here, showing vivid scenes of life right alongside these now extinct animals. But maybe the most shocking giant of them all was something else entirely. A sloth, the size of an elephant. Not the more famous Megatherium from the south, but its slightly larger cousin that roamed this northern region. Aramotherium. Standing on its hind legs, it could reach high into the trees. A 4-ton giant that almost defies belief. So where are the people in this picture? For the longest time, scientists figured that early humans steered clear of dense rainforests, thinking they were too hard to get around in and didn't have enough food. But stunning evidence from the Amazon, Sri Lanka, and across the globe shows that humans weren't just surviving in these jungles, they were thriving. Ancient campsites found in rock shelters reveal a diet rich with forest life. But they weren't just hunting the giants. Fossil remains show they relied more on smaller, predictable prey like monkeys, squirrels, and even snails. They ate fruits, nuts, and starchy roots. But these early people were much more than just hunter-gatherers. What they were really doing in this prehistoric world, well, it changes everything. Far from just living off the land, these early humans were actively shaping it. They were the planet's very first landscape architects. Soil and pollen analysis shows that as far back as 11,000 years ago, humans were clearing patches of forest. They used fire not just for warmth, but as a tool away to encourage the growth of useful, edible plants, creating a kind of sprawling prehistoric garden. This wasn't random destruction, it was careful land management. They were creating a more productive and reliable home for themselves and their communities. This completely flips the script on our own history. The idea of humanity shaping the environment didn't start with the first farms. It started thousands of years earlier, with these forgotten people in a jungle full of giants. This lost world of 12,000 years ago was more than a stage 4 incredible megafauna. It was a dynamic, complex environment where humans and giants lived side by side. When these massive animals went extinct, likely from a 1-2 punch of climate change and human hunting, the forest didn't just get quieter, it was altered forever. In fact, some scientists now believe their disappearance so drastically changed the Amazon's nutrient cycle that we can still detect the fallout in the soil today. It really makes you wonder what other lost worlds and what other stories of human ingenuity are still waiting to be discovered under the canopy. If you thought this journey into our planet's past was fascinating, Just wait until you see our video on what would happen if megafauna still existed today. Thanks for watching.